ready to make pancakes?
Yeah.
All right.
Pancakes.
All right, me too.
Do you?
I do. I want some pancakes too.
Yeah,
Let's do this morning first.
I'm gonna get chocolate.
I get chocolate. I know.
And me too.
Me too. All right. Good morning, everybody. This is Mr. Taylor here, coming to you from the shop. Normally, I will be in my shop, but I'm actually in my home right now. So if it's your first time with me, we're in our home, in our kitchen. If you're one of my students, you are now in Mr. Taylor's kitchen, and I'm joined by my son. Tell him your name.
Everett.
Everett. So Everett and I are gonna make Everett's famous chocolate chip banana pancakes. So every morning, usually every Saturday morning during the school year, we're at our normal routine. Everett wants to make our banana chocolate chip pancakes. And so we're gonna make this for you today while talking about measurement and how measurement plays a part in cooking. So I have one mashed up banana. That's the first step. And the mashed up banana, you don't want to get a banana that's too green. You want to make sure it's very ripe, because the riper banana is, the sweeter it is. And believe it or not, a ripening and kind of old or molded banana, hold on 1 second, baby, is actually a chemical change, which is a 5th grade science standard. Remember, chemical change forms something new, but as that chemical change takes place and that banana ripens, you want to make sure and get one that's kind of ripe, because it'll be more sweet. Now, it looks kind of yucky, but it tastes delicious. So make sure to look for a riper banana. You also need some cooking spray. We use vegetable oil. This is our favorite pancake mix we buy from Kroger. You also can get it from Walmart and different other places as well. But this is our favorite. We also have some chocolate chips, and we have some water to add to our mix. We have a 1/2 cup measuring cup, and we have, what Everett has is a spatula. And we have a griddle. If you don't have a griddle, you can do this in a frying pan or a skillet. Either one's fine. But a griddle makes more faster, and for our family, that is probably the best thing to have. And I also have another type here, another kind of spatula, or we're going to use it, Everett calls it our magic pancake flipper. So you have that as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to start here.
And you flip it.
And you flip it off the griddle. Now, before we get started, I do want to tell you behind me, this is the gallon man. So remember, before I talked to you about converting measurement, the gallon man or gallon kingdom basically has the big G, the big gallon. So when you go to the grocery store and buy a gallon of milk, that's 1 gallon. Gallon is broken down into smaller sections. Within it, you have 4 quarts in a gallon. Then there are 2 pints in every quart. Then you have 2 cups in every pint. So to do that, you can draw the big G, draw 4 Q's inside, then draw 2 P's inside each Q, then draw 2 C's inside each P. So then, you sure can. What's that, baby? Show them what that is. What's that?
A
spatula. So right here you see we have 2 cups in a pint. So if I ask you how many cups are in a gallon, you can look at this image here and tell me 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 cups are in 1 gallon. Now, why do you need to know that? Well, suppose you don't have a correct measuring tool. What if you need to measure in ounces or measuring cups instead of quarts? You need to be able to convert those units of measurement so you can cook correctly and not make a hot mess, is what Everett calls it in the kitchen. All right? So what we're going to do is we're looking at making our pancakes. So we're going to start measuring. Now, here's my issue. So right before I get started, 1 1/4 cups is enough for 4 people. So with this mix. So I have an issue because there's only 2 of us. Even though Everett and I eat a lot of pancakes, we still want to make half of that recipe. Now, in a math lesson before, I told you of means to multiply. My students know that of means to multiply. So
That's not hot.
it's not hot yet, baby. No, I haven't turned it on. But you want to go ahead and turn it on, get it warmed up, get it ready? All right, let's go and turn our griddle on to about 225 degrees Fahrenheit. And we'll get it warming up while Everett and I show you. It's not hot yet. No, not yet. We got to multiply times 2.
I just want to test it.
Well, we can't touch it. It's hot.
It's hot?
It's going to, we have to pretend that it's hot, because when it does get hot, it can hurt your hands, okay?
Yeah, and it can burn.
Hey, show them your mouth. So Everett's already been in the chocolate. As you can tell, he's eating a little bit of chocolate along the way. So if you want to munch on some chocolate chips while you're at it, have fun with it. It's okay. No big deal. So here we go. So we got to multiply times 2. Now, if I say times 2, that's not multiplying by
And
half,
I
right?
got jammies on too.
You do have jammies on. It's like Daddy. We're wearing our jammies. So then times 2 is actually if I had double the amount of people. So if I had, this recipe makes 4 servings. If I had 8 people, I have to multiply by 2. Well, on this other side, instead of doing times 2, we're going to use if you remember last time, the reciprocal. We're going to multiply times 1/2. Can you say reciprocal? Say reciprocal. Reciprocal. Tough word, isn't it? Say reciprocal. Reciprocal. So we flip that fraction, and that's reciprocal. So we're multiplying by 1/2 because we're taking half of those 4 servings. We just need 2 servings. So before you multiply a mixed number times a fraction, we've got to change it to an improper fraction. Say improper fraction. Improper fraction. So when I do that, we're using our math strategy. We're multiplying and we're adding. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 1 is 5/4. Then multiplying 5/4 times 1/2. Now, when I multiply, I'm going to erase this and bring this back up so you can see it. Our original amount was 1 1/4 cups.
Don't waste that, you gotta see that too.
That's right, we got to see that. I won't erase that. So now we have 5/4 times 1/2, which is actually 5/8
And I'm
of a cup.
that down.
All right, now you're upside down. Now 5/8 of a cup, we have a problem though. 5/8 of a cup, if you look at that, it's hard to measure 5/8 of a cup, right? But if I did ounces, it could be easier to measure. So this is where it's important to know your measurement conversions.
And I made a silly face.
You made a silly face. All right, so check this out. So if I have 5/8 of a cup, let's go back to the top again. And there are 8 fluid ounces in every cup. So every cup you drink, there are 8 fluid ounces in that cup. So if I have 5/8 cups, and I'm converting that to ounces, which actually would be fluid ounces if you wanted to. So now this is really not fluid ounces, so really we're just changing to ounces. But let's continue with that. All right, so we're looking at the cups into ounces. So let's look at this together. So I said there's 8 ounces in a cup, right? So going back to what our previous lesson was over, the M&S or S&M strategy, all right, we know that cup is more than an ounce, right? And since that M is first, we're going to multiply. When we multiply, we're multiplying 5/8, okay, 5/8 times the number of ounces in a cup, which is 8. Now, when I multiply, can you help me out? All right, come on. So when I multiply, I'm going to go back to the top here. We have 5/8 times 8.
And I'm drawing X.
And when you multiply fractions, you go ahead, baby. When you multiply fractions, you go straight across the top and straight across the bottom, and you have 40/8. Remember, fractions are division, right? So 40 divided by 8 is actually just 5. So instead of me saying 5/8 of a cup, you could also say there are actually 5 ounces and 5/8. All right, of a cup. So that's another way to look at it. Awesome job. High five, bud. Good job. All right, let's put our marker down to make our pancakes. You ready?
Okay.
This is what we all been waiting for.
What's that?
Oh, it's okay, bud.
Where's that?
I'm not sure. Here, come on. Hop up here. Let's make our pancakes.
Yeah, he's got there, go. Hey,
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Something in that hole right there.
Yeah, it's okay. Are you ready? Let's make our pancakes. So here we go.
Maybe the beetle.
Beetle, it could be. All right, so here we go. Let's check this out. So what we're going to do, we're going to start by adding our pancake mix. Now, like I told you, we're taking 5/8 of a cup. Now, again, that's about, like what we just figured out. 5/8 of a cup is actually 5 ounces. You good? Drink some milk. So I'm going to estimate here because I have a half. And think about 5/8. 4/8 is a half, right? So 5/8 is just a little bit more than 4/8. So we're going to. It's okay, baby.
He's like my ex.
No, I'm sorry, baby. You want to make another one?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna put this down.
Okay.
All right. So I put about 5/8. It doesn't have to be 5/8 exactly. So don't stress that at all. Yeah, go ahead and make your eggs, baby. It's okay.
And
Got
there's a
it.
bug in the hole.
A bug. Oh my goodness, it is a beetle. We'll take him outside and put him back outside again, okay? He won't hurt you. Put your eggs right there.
Is he dead?
He's not dead. He's still alive, but we'll put him back outside in just a second. So we had to bring Everett's easel in from outside our back porch, and a beetle came in with it. So remember, a beetle has an exoskeleton. Remember, it's an invertebrate that doesn't have a backbone. So remember, a beetle, when we take it back outside, some beetles can fly, some can't, but we're going to put him back outside so he can be safe and secure. But remember, beetles are invertebrates. They're classifying animals, another 5th grade science skill. So invertebrates don't have a backbone. He has an exoskeleton that protects him. That's really cool to think about. So there's your beautiful drawing. What did you draw for us?
No, it's a boat.
It's a boat. It's a
and there's somebody on the boat.
All right, I'm gonna pick it up so they can see it. All right, let's put the marker back on, and I'm gonna pick it up so they can see it, because they will love it. All right, check out Everett's boat. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's Everett's sailboat that he just drew, which is beautiful. So awesome, high five, bud.
Yeah, I'm gonna draw a board.
All right, let's make our pancakes first, then we draw it, okay?
And after I show all different things,
Yeah.
I'll draw somebody on it.
Okay.
But that's the top of that seal.
That sounds great. All right, we're gonna add our chocolate chips. I'm gonna let Everett add those with his hands, so just take your hands there and pop them in there for Daddy. So as he adds those in, you can add as many as you want, as little as you want. If you want a little bit of chocolate flavor, just add a few. If you want to get really chocolatey, feel free to do so. In Eastman, Georgia, there used to be a Pizza Inn, and when I was a kid, I used to love having a chocolate chip pizza they made there, and it was amazing. Like I always remember that as a child, and that actually allowed me to go back one time. They knew I loved it so much, I went back into the Pizza Inn kitchen and watched them make the chocolate chip pizza, and I'll never forget that. It was the coolest thing ever. You know, as from a kid's perspective, you always love to see things, new things in action, and so seeing that, it was incredible. So Everett loves chocolate, as you can tell. He ate some around his mouth already. So as he's doing this, we're not measuring the chocolate. You just kind of eyeball it and add however much you want. Now, as we're looking at it, we're going to add just a little bit more. I think that'll be a perfect amount. One more handful. Good job. You want a few to eat while we're waiting? Okay. All right, so there's our chocolate added there. Good job. It's so yummy. All right, so we have our chocolate, our pancake mix, and our banana in the bowl. Now we're going to add a little bit of water, and this is the tricky part, okay? Sure can. Yeah, baby. You sure can. So as you add your water, you want to make sure that your consistency of the mix is not too soupy, but it's not too thick. All right, you sure can. All right, have that pour. So I always do, whoop, that's careful. Just do a little bit at a time. All right, so I always do a little bit at a time, not to be, oh, baby. Good manners, bud. Always do a little bit of water at a time.
Always use your manners.
Always use your manners, that's right.
And say, Dad, can I get that spatula, please?
You did a great job, bud. That was such great manners. And so as we stir, Everett's doing a fabulous job stirring using a spatula. So as he does, notice the consistency, like I said, is still a little bit thick. You don't want it to be too soupy though, so when you get to
turn and back.
That's right. Show him. So this right here is a great consistency, but the problem is, again, it's a little bit too thick, so you want to add a little bit more water to it, and not a lot.
No.
All right, so you don't, but listen, we don't want to dump the whole thing, so add just a little bit at a time. Right there, perfect. All right, that's just enough.
Uh-oh, Dad, look. Water.
It's just water, baby. It's gonna be okay. And so now you can see it's getting a little more soupy, which is almost the perfect consistency you want. Now, if you add a little too much water by accident, you can always go back and add a little more pancake mix, you know, to thicken it back up a little bit. It's not a big deal. So as we mix this up, we're gonna get it nice and soupy, which I think is gonna be about perfect.
Yeah.
Now, there's a trick I learned after watching The Kitchen on Food Network one time. If you leave your pancake mix still for a few minutes, a chemical reaction will take place within the mix itself, and it will actually create bubbles. And what will happen is your pancakes will be more fluffy and a little more airy. So if you want to do that, you can. You know, we always are so hungry in the mornings, we just dive right in and pour on the griddle. So whatever you want to do with your family is up to you. But we've got our pan, our griddle is hot. We want to spray that with some cooking spray. All right, this is vegetable oil, but you can use whatever kind you want. I'm watching, baby. What you got? Let's see it.
I'm just showing people on too.
Let's see it. Make a silly face.
He do it.
All right, so as we pour can't even speak now. Everyone's gonna make silly faces. As we pour our pancake mix on the griddle, you want to make sure as you do that you kind of pour a little bit at a time because it will spread. And so just do a little bit, and we're pouring it out on the griddle. This will make anywhere from 5 to 7 decent sized pancakes. While Everett's still making the silly faces. Now here's the tricky part. As you make the pancakes, you want to make sure as you make them that you flip them at the right time.
Hey, Dad.
One second, baby. Let me tell them one more thing, okay? We'll talk. So as you make these, if you make them thin enough, they will start to bubble. And when they start to bubble, that's the perfect time to flip them. So that's what I always look for, is that little bubbling as it bubbles come up within the pancake itself. Now, after you turn it over one time, it's going to be kind of tricky, and I'll show you that in just a moment. But the main goal of today was to show you about how you're using fractions and converting measurement in the kitchen. And so Everett and I have done that and shows you how to do that. And we're going to flip these in just a moment. Everett's going to help me. What Everett is standing in, Everett is standing his own little platform that we made here at our house. He can help us cook. It's perfect countertop height. So that's how he is joining us today. So
and I stand my
and you have a gate, don't you? You can't get out.
It's a door.
It's a door, that's right. And take it out, yep. I'm gonna go down our steps. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna close the and close the gate and close the door.
And you don't shut the door straight.
That's right. All right.
You just that.
All right, do you want to tell? Okay, do you want to tell them something?
Huh?
What do you want to tell them?
I'm I'll clean up my mess.
All right, how do we clean up our mess? What do we do?
We
Your pancake mix there, okay. All right, got
and
that.
we have water too.
I'll take our water too, and we place it over here also.
And we
All
have
right.
that. Uh-oh, Dad.
It's okay. Look, we got a napkin right here. All right, so here's my question. if you look at doing that, and you look at putting this, where would we put this at normally? If it was a dirty dish, we put it in the what?
Dishwasher.
In the sink and the dishwasher. That's right. So put it in the sink and the dishwasher, and that's what will make them clean again, and we can reuse them.
And we can stir.
We can stir it up. So next time we will be doing something different, but I did want to highlight that today, mainly the goal of today was to make sure you see that even fractions are used in the kitchen while you're baking or cooking. Sure, baby, you can talk to them. Tell them.
I got an apple and a cutie in there.
We have apples and cuties in our pantry that Everett loves to eat. Matter of fact, he has a cutie. See if I can reach it right here.
And also too.
All right. And again, so if you have fruit at home and you see it molding or starting to turn different colors, that's a chemical change taking place. That's okay. That's just some chocolate.
Yeah, it says some chocolate.
What is it?
Is this a marker for a marker?
Oh, it's a marker. Oh, it looked like chocolate. Here you go. Yeah, baby.
But is that
You want to eat your cutie while we wait? Yeah, you want to eat your cutie while we wait?
Is that a cutie?
That's the skin of the cutie.
Yeah.
Now, we also have a compost bin at home as well. So if you have orange peels or cutie peels or banana peels. Okay. If you have any of those, it's really important to compost those because you can use those in your garden. We have a garden planted at home where we have some raised flower beds. We have sweet peas. What's in our garden? Sweet peas and what else?
And tomatoes.
Tomatoes. What else do we have? We have a bunch of what?
Carrots too.
We have some carrots too, but we have a bunch.
And there's a bug in there.
Well, there's a bug in there. What else do we have in the garden?
Uncle Sam.
Why I know? Well, what else do we have in the garden? You love to eat them. They're little bitty blue balls.
Blueberries.
Blueberries. We have tons of blueberries and some blackberries as well.
And there's tons of them.
And so they're tiny right now, they're getting bigger. But compost, when you put it in a compost and recycle and reuse all those old food scraps, it breaks down over time and makes this amazing nutrient-rich soil to add to your plants. When you do that, the plants will gain all those nutrients and produce just amazing, beautiful, and delicious fruit and vegetables.
I'll say something.
Okay. Well, you want to show them the beetle?
But yeah.
All right, well, let's put the pancakes first. We'll show them the beetle, okay?
Okay.
So right here, the pancakes begin to bubble in the middle just a little bit. How you help me flip?
Sure.
Come here.
But I also want to make it cutie.
Okay, well, he wants to eat his cutie, so I'm gonna flip for us. So as we flip the pancakes, you just kind of want to get under them and flip them and turn them over one time. Again, you want to make sure you see that bubbling. If you see the bubbling, you know you're good. That means that one side is finished and cooked through. We're gonna flip all of these. Like I said, those little 5/8 of a cup made, let's see, 1, 2, 3. We've got 8 pancakes right here. So Everett can have 4, and Daddy can have 4. Or Everett can have 7, Daddy can have 1. It all depends on how it rolls each morning. It depends on how hungry this little man is. As you can see, he has eaten a cutie this morning, as well as drank over half a cup of chocolate milk. So he's already on it, ready to go. He is hungry, just like Daddy. So we're gonna get in it in just a second. We're gonna eat our pancakes. Before we do so, we do wanna show you our beetle friend here. I'll wash my hands after, it's okay. But this is our beetle friend that was in Everett's easel that we brought in from outside from the garage. So Everett's new beetle friend is gonna go back outside in just a second. But I want to tell you, thank you for watching. Everett and I are gonna dive into our pancakes in just a moment.
The pancake ready.
And thank you for watching getting our pancakes ready. I'm gonna go wash my hands, because remember, if you touch something from outside or go outside, you can wash your hands for at least 20 seconds before you eat anything or touch your face. So I'm gonna go wash my hands. Again, thank y'all so much for watching.
My belly says yum.
Our belly says yummy to the tummy. That's right, we enjoy it. All right. So thank you again for watching. We hope to see you next time on The Shop with Mr. Taylor.
And you don't eat the skin of the
That's right, we don't eat the skin of the cutie. We can put it in the compost, can't we?
Yeah, we can, but
hold on. So thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Thank y'all. Y'all have a good one. Be safe out
Now
there.
it's watching Mickey Mouse.
And we're watching Mickey Mouse. We're going to go out and watch Mickey Mouse and eating our pancakes. Love y'all. See you soon.